Well, hey everybody, it's Paul. Welcome again to the channel. I want to talk about something that everybody's talking about. I thought I'd weigh in with my 2 cents. It's kind of a complicated issue when you get down into it. I'm talking about YouTube's change to the terms of service. I'm talking about how they are demonetizing some videos due strictly to the content of the videos. Now, at first, if you don't monetize, that's probably not a big deal to you. However, if you may subscribe, you may support, follow a lot of channels that do monetize, there's a lot of folks out there that make their living from monetizing videos, and there's some channels that are going to have to drastically change how they do business, or just try to make it by selling stuff to the viewers, or however else they're going to do it, instead of just simply by people watching their ads. I'll tell you my experience. Everybody's talking about it because it just came out officially, I guess, with the terms of service the other day, but this is not new to me. I did a video, a lot of you will recall, several months ago, probably 2 months ago, there was a drowning in our town, and I did a video talking about it and wanting to put it in people's heads, that if you have kids, especially little kids, you've got to watch them around the water. This was a case of a 5-year-old boy that, was around relations or whatever, wandered out and died and drowned in the local lake here. It was a travesty, And, of course, I put one of the keywords in was drowning, because that's what the video was talking about. I in no way was, well, you guys that watch me, I don't make fun of anything like that at all. Totally the exact opposite. It was a very sobering, very solemn type of video, where I really wanted people to have a wake-up call, especially people with kids. You don't want this to happen to you, kind of thing. But the monetization was pulled off of that video because of the content, well, not really the content, but the keywording about drowning. Now, obviously, I'm not going to show somebody drowning. I'm not going to make light of somebody drowning or anything like that. They pulled monetization off that. I had another one. The video never got up, and it was from the title. It was called Santa Claus and Shooting, and it was a video about all the little Santa Claus seeds that were coming down from the trees. And in the background, I was trying to film that and show the little seeds drifting down, but in the background, somebody was shooting, and wouldn't stop. It was just comical, because it seemed like every time I started to talk, bam, 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 But they did not want to have advertisers have their ads against the title that had shooting in it. So a lot of people are up in arms. There's news channels on YouTube that like to talk about, serious topics that are in the news. A lot of bad stuff's taking place in the world today, and they want to cover it, but because of that content, they are not going to be able to profit, which isn't a bad word. It's not a bad thing. They're not going to be able to monetize their videos. They'll still be able to make the video. So now that's the thing. That's the tricky thing. So that is kind of, from the content provider, that's kind of their view, okay? But now you got to spin around and look at it from YouTube's view. YouTube's a private company. They could come out tomorrow and say, hey, everybody that wants to have an account, if you want to watch a video, it's $5 a month. If you want to put up a video, it's $10 a month. It's their site. When something gets big, we like to think of it like it's public, it's like, but it's a private company. They are there to make money for the shareholders. And if they deem it the best way to do that is by charging subscription, they can do that. That's their... Now, a lot of people are saying that, and I can understand where they're coming from. A lot of the content providers, a lot of content, the movie makers are saying YouTube is censoring them because they are pulling the monetization on those videos. Well, obviously YouTube has heard from their customers, the advertisers, saying, hey, we don't want to run ads against certain types of content. That is YouTube's privilege, being that it's a private company. They are not saying you can't put out the content. I would say that's 100% wrong. If you wanted to put out, say, content where you're saying, I'm for Hillary Clinton, or I'm for Bill Clinton, or Bill Clinton, Jesus. I'm for Donald Trump, and say all the Trump, videos were being taken down, but the Hillary ones weren't, or vice versa, that'd be 100% wrong. YouTube's not taking down the videos. But it's always been in their thing. They will take down a video if it's something that's, say, pornographic, if it's something that's like over-the-top violence, that type of thing. They have the right to pull down whatever video they want. But in this case, they're not taking down the videos. They're just taking down the monetization based on what the video is about. And people are seeing that as a form of censorship. But I'm saying, YouTube's got a right to do that. It's just basically the advertisers don't want their brand being associated with, in my case, shooting, or in my case, drowning. Okay, fair enough. But on the other hand, you can see why the content creators are angry, because like a lot of these same advertisers are the ones that are running ads on CNN, running ads on a Fox, news, what have you, where, they're talking about all kinds of, what's going on in the world, a lot of bad stuff that happens every day. And, they're putting their advertising dollars there. So what gives? Another thing, another big change is they are not going to run ads against what they're saying, kind of like vulgar language, profanities, Now, thankfully, that's not going to affect my channel very much, because from day one, I always had it in the back of my mind for guys that were growing up, say, with Johnny Carson. That was my era. Back in the days where you wouldn't be swearing on the three major networks. You had 2, 4, and 7 in my town. NBC, CBS, ABC. The whole thing was you couldn't, So Johnny Carson, he talked in innuendos. It wasn't, nasty or dirty stuff, but it was funny stuff. So, but it was, he kept it G to PG, and that's what I've always aimed to do, I like to go right at that PG kind of a level, because there are kids that are watching or could be watching. Nobody's really watching my stuff, but that's okay. So I'm not going to go over the top. But that's how I am in real life, say. That's how I am in person. I'm not a big cusser. I'm not a big swearer. But I support people that do, There's channels out there that, every other word. And I watch them and I support them. And I think they've got a definite right, if that's what they want to do. If that's how they want to speak, by all means, But YouTube's saying, hey, we've got a right that if you are going to talk that way, we're going to pull the advertising. The advertisers don't want to spend their money against your content. Okay. It's America. It's capitalism. They're going to do what they feel is in their best interest. The advertisers have got to do what they feel is in their best interest. So now it's going to leave the content creators. Are they going to clean up, their mouth, so to speak, and see, try to go from a R rating back to a PG? See if they're going to leave out a lot of that so they can still monetize? Are they just going to keep running it the way they are and try to, make money still just through the merchandising and things like that? So, and of course, I want your opinions on this. Really, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'd appreciate that. And I'd just like to throw this out there. We really need a serious competitor to YouTube. Now, I mean, I love YouTube. I love the community. The fact that we're able to, number one, put content up here for the whole world to see for free is awesome. Number two, the fact that we're able to put our content up for free and actually make a few bucks, all the way up to people quitting their jobs and making a living at it. I think that's awesome. But you know, this is America. Things always get better with competition. I think that there ought to be another YouTube-like company out there, serious competitor, that has the reach, that has the money behind it to do it properly, that, you know, would not just be a fly-by-night, you know, but actually have the financing to set up a decent monetization and a sales force and all the thing. You know, it would take a lot of money from a big outfit, you know, to buy the infrastructure and the servers and everything that would be needed to do it properly. But boy, we really could use YouTube, a serious YouTube competitor. That's my opinion. Anyway, guys, I hope, I'm sure you've already seen this, but if not, I hope I opened somebody's eyes to the idea of what's going on out there. And maybe you can weigh in with your thoughts and what you think, you know, and you know, it kind of sounds like I'm splitting the fence, but in a way I am. I support the content creators' right to make whatever content they like within certain things. I mean, obviously, YouTube has a right to say they don't want pornography on their site. Absolutely agree with that. They don't want, you know, gratuitous violence. That's way out of, you know, I totally agree with that. Do they have the right to say if you have gratuitous swearing in your videos, they're not going to monetize it? I'd say yes, you know. But do you still have the right to make the video with the swearing in it? Absolutely. They shouldn't take the video down, but they can take the money. That's kind of where I'm at. Let me know what you think. I appreciate your time as always. Until the next video, we will see you. Thanks so much, guys.